Welcome to Liberty Park Music. I'm Michelle Huang, your piano instructor. In our last lesson, we talked about what eighth notes, eighth rest, and dotted quarter notes are. We also learned time signature 6/8 and dynamic markings pianissimo, fortissimo, crescendo, and diminuendo. In this lesson, we'll be spending the first section learning about key signature. And the second section of this lesson will be focusing on a specific piece that combines the musical concepts that we have learned so far. Sharps or flats that follow the clef signs are called the key signatures. The key signature indicates the notes that are to be sharped or flatted throughout the piece and helps to identify the key of the piece. In this example on the screen, all the B's and E's are flatted. Play as B flats and E flats. There are 7 key signatures using sharps and 7 key signatures using flats. Each key signature corresponds to a key. The best and the easiest way to memorize key signatures is to visualize a circle of fifth, which is a diagram that looks like a clock. Reading clockwise around the circle of fifth, you'll see that each key is a fifth higher than the previous key. For example, C to G and G to D. And one more sharp is added as we go clockwise down the circle. Reading counterclockwise, each key is a fifth lower than the previous key, and one more flat is added. The name of a sharp major key can be found by going up a half step from the last sharp. In this example shown on the screen, a half step up from A sharp is B, which makes this B major. The name of a flat major key is the same as the name of next to last flat. The only 2 exceptions to these rules are C major, which has no sharps or flats, and F major, which only has 1 flat, that's B flat. Let's take a look at this excerpt. I want to mention that in addition to memorizing a circle of fifth to help you identify the key of the piece, you can always look at the very last note of the piece. This will usually tell you the key of the piece. So this excerpt is in F major with 1 flat, which is B flat. All the B flats are circled for you on the music. Find your hand position for both hands. Remember, all the B's are flatted, which means you'll play right hand B flat with 4 and left hand B flat with 2. Physically, you do have to raise the wrist a bit to play those notes. Now, let's give this a try. Play and count. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now you know what key signatures are. We'll be spending the second section of this lesson looking at your first solo repertoire called the miniature waltz. This piece combines the musical concepts that we have learned from previous lessons and this lesson. Let's first make a few observations about this piece. The meter is in 3/4, which means that there are 3 beats per measure, and a quarter note gets a beat. It is in the key of G major with 1 sharp, which is F sharp. Remember, we can also look at the last note of the piece to determine the key. The left hand is playing the different harmonic intervals we have talked about a few lessons back. You will also notice that there is a new marking towards the end of the piece, rit, which stands for ritardando, means to gradually slow down. Just like crescendo and diminuendo, the key word here is gradually. As the title suggests, this is a waltz. In a waltz, the first beat gets more emphasis than the second and the third. Let's try tapping this together. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Next, we will learn each hand separately, starting with the right hand. Remember to count as you play. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now we will add dynamics to the right hand melody you just played. Now we go to the left hand. Your left hand is playing an accompaniment, which is the supporting line to the melody. Notice that this line has a much softer dynamic than the melody. It is meant to be played somewhat out of the way so the melody can be heard. Use your wrist to help you create a light touch on the keys. Before we play this left hand, take a look at the second line of the piece. You will see that in these harmonic intervals, the top D in the intervals repeats, but the bottom notes changes. In order to replay the D, you will need to cut each chord a little bit short to do so. So simply lift your wrist right before you play the next interval. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, Now, let's play the entire left hand of this piece. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Are you ready to put hands together? Remember that the right hand melody needs to be louder than the left hand accompaniment. When putting hands together, slow down the tempo even more so you have time to process everything that is going on in the music. Let's try this together. In this lesson, we learn about key signatures and how to determine the key of a piece. We also learned the process of approaching a new piece by first observing important information such as the meters, the keys, the melody and accompaniment, and the dynamic markings. It's also important to divide the music into bite-sized sections and learn the hands separately before putting them together. See you next time.